Shot at Dwayne Wade as he prepares to do battle. We've got rabid Los Angeles fans packed inside the Staples Center. It's the Miami Heat taking on the Los Angeles Lakers. It's the NBA here on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here with Clark Kellogg. So the opening lineup for the Heat, LeBron and Bosh are the three in the floor. Mike Bibby out there with Dwayne Wade and Anthony. And for the Lakers, Artest and Odom at the forward slots. Kobe is out there with Brown and Bynum. Clark, some mixed results for the Heat last year against the Western Conference.
Yeah, they were a perfect 500 against the Western Conference, Kevin. Given what the Magic did against the West last year, you think the Heat would aim to improve that if they want to win the division.
So the Lakers win the tip. Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Erik Spoelstra. And what did you find out, Doris?
Well, guys, to sum up his main point, he said basically that everyone being on the same page defensively is crucial to their success tonight. He acknowledged that they're up against a team that will take advantage of every mistake an opponent makes, so they can't afford to lose their focus. We'll see how crisp they are at it, guys.
Thank you, Doris. I get the feeling here, Clark, there's a lot more to be done here.
Well, one of the best ways to bother a shooter is to make him uncomfortable. Make him catch the ball where he doesn't want it.
Yeah, you know, if you look at it, Clark, those games against the West are a big part of the gap between those two teams in the standings.
And Kevin, you can't win your division unless you can handle your business outside of the division. And that includes games against the Western Conference.
Mike Bibby out of Arizona, still a deadly shooter after all these years.
One of the outstanding strokes in the game, Kevin. Very reliable. You know, he's starting to slow down a little bit, but the one thing that never leaves a good shooter is his stroke.
And here are the Heat. 6-point game. Bryant gets the reach-in call. That is his first foul of the game. Erik Spoelstra in his third season with the Miami Heat, second youngest coach in the NBA.
You know, his father was a longtime NBA executive, so he grew up around the game, and he's the first Filipino-American head coach of any North American sports team.
Sure, he was a four-year starter at the University of Portland.
I did grab hold of that factoid early on.
The Heat making the switch here. And Spoelstra, Clark, worked his way up through the ranks with the Miami Heat. In fact, he started back in the mid-90s as the team's video coordinator.
A terrific example of perseverance, and because of that, the Heat front office felt he was innovative, understood modern scouting, and would bring new, fresh ideas to the head coaching position.
Interesting.
Great pick there. The defender was stopped in his tracks, and it freed up the easy basket.
Here's Brown, averaging 8 points a game. Leads him in, and stolen by Chalmers.
It's too difficult to squeeze that pass low.
Wade for three, and it's Wade again missing. The Lakers with a quick start to this game. 6-point lead. Baseline jumper. Kobe's shot is off.
And that makes them 4-5 now. Their first miss of the game. Terrific start thus far.
And oh, that was close. He draws the foul. They shoot two. Dwayne Wade out of Marquette, had a lot of hype from coming out of college.
You know, well, he came out in a year that was supposed to be a 2- or 3-person draft. I mean, LeBron, Darko Milicic, Carmelo Anthony. He was sitting there at number 5 and actually has had as strong a career as LeBron James to this point.
Udonis Haslem, he's checked in for Miami. Takes it up. Brown, good. Brown's got his first 2 points of the night. Not a fast start here for the Heat. They trail by 7. You know, one of the stories last season, Clark, in the playoffs for the Lakers was after that early scare to the Thunder of Oklahoma City, and then Wade slams it in. Here's the angle on our Sprite Slam Cam.
That's how you do it. That was a nice setup. I mean, the pick was in the right place, right where it should have been.
Followed the strategy that is mapped out on the sideline. Those timeouts mean a lot for these guys. Gets to Kobe. Answers right back with the dunk of his own.
Uh-oh, a little bit of a statement made there while he hung on the rim.
That's one way to make sure the whole building knows exactly what you just did. Here's Chalmers. Can't get it to go. And the Lakers go with it the other way. Goes up. The shot by Kobe, no good.
That was a desperation move there. The defense was all over him, and he tried to change his shot at the last second.
Wade outside. The kick out to Bosch. The rebound by Kobe Bryant.
Shocking how wide open he was. Even more shocking that he couldn't sink.
Let's go to our great sideline reporter, Doris Burke, for an update. Doris?
You know, Kevin, when the Big Three first joined forces in Miami, there were some that said these guys were taking the easy way out, that they should try to win it by themselves. Dwayne Wade said, "We understood that this is not something that everyone wants to see." One thing that disturbs me is they say Michael and Magic and Larry did it by themselves. They did not do it by themselves. No one has. Go check the numbers. Go look at the teams. Guys, he has a point.
Well, certainly some of the great teams had multiple Hall of Famers. You may have a point. Thanks, Doris. Derek Fisher's checked in for Shannon Brown. The Heat also changing it up. Anthony's checked in. And Mike Miller subbed in for LeBron. And again, it's the Heat missing. And it's the Lakers' ball. They're on a 16-7 run. Outside Artest. Here's Fisher. Let's go with a three. And another three for the Lakers.
Right now, Kevin, they're getting everything they want and sending a message while they're doing it.
From 17 feet out, Haslam can't get it to go. And the Lakers have possession. A 12-point game.
They've been dominant both ends of the floor, so the early lead is no surprise.
Here's Chalmers, averaging 6 points per contest. He's covered by Fisher. Fisher against Chalmers. The dump off, Anthony. 1 second left. No good on that last second attempt there. And we finished the first quarter of play. Two different looking teams in this one. Lakers ahead, leading by 14.
They haven't been shy at all. They're going right to the bucket and playing aggressive, hard-nosed basketball, smash-mouth basketball. So far, their physicality has been the deciding factor.
And we'll see you in just a moment. And welcome back. The second quarter getting started, and so far a somewhat one-sided game. Here's Bibby, averaging 8 points a game. This Heat team really had to ride D-Wade's shoulders last year.
Well, nothing new there, Kevin. I mean, they really leaned on him for a lot of things. Everything in the stat sheet was something Dwayne had to do: score, rebounding, assist, defense. I think some players got a little too used to leaning on him and expecting him to make every play.
Sometimes you stand around and wait for him to bail you out.
That's right, and you become a spectator instead of a playmaker.
So with Bosch on the bench, this is who Eric Spoelstra has on the floor. Mike Bibby out there with Mike Miller. And it's LeBron James. And there's Haslam. Here's Fisher. And James pulls it down. And with their team building process, they were biding their time so they could reload this offseason. And now they're poised for big things. And they think a deep playoff push in the East. It's blocked. Last season, LeBron James' second consecutive season as the league MVP.
And he dominated, Kevin. He was second in the league in scoring, 6th in assists, top 10 in steals. Not surprised he led the league in triple doubles too with 4.
He was terrific. Let's loose for three. Kept alive. For three, Bibby. Again, the miss by the Heat. We've seen them with a lot of good ball movement.
That's exactly the way to play. The fans love it. It's fun for the players. I love it. And more importantly, it's tough to defend.
How many more MVPs, Clark, do you think LeBron will win when it's all said and done?
Well, it'll be multiple, Kevin. I think he could very well get close to that 6 or 7 number if he stays healthy.
And the Heat making a change here. Timeout called, the Heat. Lakers making a change here. Brown's checked in. Here's LeBron, averaging 26 points a game. Here's Chalmers. Miami no good on that time either.
The D didn't respect him from that distance, and now we know why.
Here's Brown. Again, the Lakers.
That's the way to manufacture your shot against the taller defender. Solid effort.
Now let's check in with the third member of our crew, Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, Kevin, despite winning 2 consecutive championships, the Lakers couldn't rest on their laurels this offseason. A big move for them was signing the point guard Steve Blake. Blake's a solid and dependable vet, a gritty defender, a shooter, and most importantly, has a high basketball IQ. The Lakers feel he's a great fit for the triangle, with good toughness to withstand the playoff pressure that will certainly accompany his time here with the Lakers. Guys, back to you.
Seems like a good fit. Thanks, Doris. Here's Brown. 2:42 left in the half. Scooped up. Here's LeBron. And here is Chalmers. He's covered by Brown. And they get it. Wade misses. Lakers are a good defensive team last year. Clark holding their opponents to just 33% shooting from beyond the arc. You know the three-point shot is the great equalizer. To have that kind of three-point defense speaks volumes.
It really does, and that led the league in that particular category, Kevin. Teams that relied heavily on the three ball really struggled against the Lakers, and I think part of that was the length. The Lakers able to get out and challenge that three-point line, and everybody is conscious of making that a key part of what they do defensively.
That's a good point. Catching up on the changes with Miami. Anthony's checked in. Mike Miller subbed in for Mike Bibby. Brown, good.
I love that they're staying aggressive and just keep piling on the point.
Here's Chalmers. 1:53 left in the second.
There was a poll taken last season among NBA players asking which players had the best basketball IQ. Guess who came in first? Kobe Bryant.
No surprise there, huh?
None at all.
First one falls for him. Hey, Clark, talk about Kobe's understanding of the game. I know about his skill level, but his awareness on the court really sets him apart.
Yeah, it does, Kevin. I mean, he grew up in a basketball family. His father played in the NBA. Jelly Bean Bryant played for a number of years. So he was always around the game, but he took it to another level in his diligence in studying the game and recapturing and knowing its history. I think that's going to take away from what he does. The team's going to have to pick it up on the defensive end.
You know, Clark Wade gets a lot of credit for his offense, and deservedly so, but I think in some circles he's a very underrated defender. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that, Kevin. I mean, he isn't the biggest guard, but he can guard anyone at the position because of his speed, length, and strength. He's a pretty strong guy.
Brown, good. Here's Wade. He's got 8. Chalmers with it. He's covered by Brown. Hit them clean. And here's Los Angeles. They're on a 17-3 run. Back to Bynum. Beyond the arc. And Kobe the bucket with the assist from Andrew Bynum. 21 points for Kobe Bryant.
Well, that was a nice start. After having a good first quarter, he's showing us more of the same here.
Chalmers against Brown. Poke loose. Wash kicks to Miller. 5 to shoot. With 1 second left, the shot misses. And the Lakers go with it the other way. Now Brown, 8 points for him. Defended by Chalmers. Here's our test. And another 3 for the Lakers.
They're showing no mercy. This lead just keeps on growing.
Here comes Mario Chalmers. Miller outside. Wade working against Kobe. And again, it's the Heat missing.
And right now, this is the story of the game.